So, this is our introduction to the Dark Universe, huh? Well, if this film gives us anything to go off of, the prospects of this cinematic universe are very dark indeed. I will give them this, though. The way the logo is revealed at the start of the film looks kinda cool. But that's not really saying much. If you've been following my channel for a while, you recall that I mentioned this reboot at the tail end of my Monster Clash video discussing the previous Mummy films. I had heard some of the bad reviews going in, but I wanted to give this film a chance. I really did. However, this film's biggest problem is the overall tone. The film can't seem to decide whether or not it wants to be a straightforward horror film, an adventure film like the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies, or an action comedy like Guardians of the Galaxy. As a result, you feel like you're being ripped out of one movie and put into another at such a rapid pace that it just feels frustrating to watch. This makes the lines of dialogue feel even more formulaic, as they are the kind of lines you've heard in every single adventure movie ever made. On top of that, you also have the cliched hero's journey story beats that aren't even utilized properly. In fact, the film arbitrarily pads itself out in a bid to build its cinematic universe. The problem is that they are pulling from DC's playbook of trying to have their SHIELD analog present from the word go, instead of it being slowly revealed to us. They're trying to work in references to these other monsters left and right, at the expense of the main story that they are trying to tell, which isn't even a good one on its own. It's the same basic premise as the previous Mummy films. Archaeologists uncover the tomb of an evil ancient Egyptian, they undo the seal keeping it in, all hell breaks loose, rinse and repeat. However, where this film falters is that the villain is not even really that interesting, or at the very least the film doesn't give her a chance to be interesting, since the main conflict is put on the back burner to show the intricacies of this dark universe that the audience has no reason to be invested in yet. Couple that with the fact that the film shoehorns in comedic elements at the worst possible moments, and you're left with a film that has no idea what it wants to be, yet expects you to care. The sad thing is that there is a germ of a good idea here, and it's not the first time Universal's created a shared universe with their monsters, but this film should not have been called The Mummy, or at the very least, this should not have been the first Mummy film in this new universe. The Mummy in this case basically serves as a MacGuffin to kickstart this new universe without really giving us anything to latch onto. Overall, this film is a mess from start to finish, between the inconsistent tone, stock characters, formulaic writing, and the onslaught of sequel teasing before the film has even left the first act, and you're left with something so hollow and soulless that it feels like every other movie in the history of cinema, and not even in the good, subdued way, but more like a robot was programmed to produce a film, but was only given the bargain bin horror films that not even the Sci-Fi Channel would take to use as a reference. And when it comes to how it sets up its cinematic universe, it's not a very good springboard, as it tries to equate these monsters with the superheroes that they are hoping to imitate. Honestly, Dracula Untold provided a much better springboard, and I would rather see a sequel to that than a sequel to this film, because at least Dracula Untold knew what it was trying to be. If Universal wants to press forward with its dark universe, they are definitely off to a really rough start. As is, they've presented us with the cinematic equivalent of putting the cart before the horse. All of that said, The Mummy gets a 2.5 out of 5. So that's it for this episode of Romney's Reviews. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.